My children are IVFs.
Oh, yeah.
I had the issue, not my wife. Okay, it was on me. Thanks for asking. I had a micro testy surgery. I said testy.
You have tiny
No,
bag?
no.
Tiny bag?
See, I knew I had to say it twice for you.
You said micro testy.
No, I didn't.
Small
micro
sack.
No. Can we be medical here for a second?
Sure.
What's a tessie? Sometimes being a parent is very difficult. It's hard. It's tough. It's damn depressing. But we decided to switch things up a little bit and look at the lighter side, take a different approach, and the fun part of being a parent. We got all sorts of things we're talking about. We got texts, we got tweets, we got embarrassing moments, and we talk a lot about fluids. Enjoy the podcast.
They say parenting is hard for good parents. And I feel like it's super easy to get overwhelmed by being a parent of a child in this world and wondering what is going to happen in the future for them. Housing prices and the economy and blah, 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 blah. Let's throw that out the door today. Okay? Let's look at the bright side. Let's laugh. Let's have some fun.
You have to laugh.
You have to laugh.
Or you'll cry every moment of every day with how hard it is.
It's so hard.
So we're going to hang out today on the Bad Parents podcast, and we're just going to have some fun.
I love it.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
All segments, all fun?
All segments, all fun. You just said it. I don't know why I said it again. Because you just said it and then I said it.
Because you're sleep deprived and you're tired.
And you're the wacky dad.
You know, I'm the only parent in the room at 48 years old, the oldest one out of the three of us, I'm literally still changing diapers.
It's insane to me.
My brother-in-law is, I think, soon to be 40-ish, has no kids, but recently married. The joy in my husband's face when he thinks about his brother going through all the stuff we're out of now it's amazing. He cannot wait for it.
Like for you, Johnny, you should have started having sex earlier, bro. Like
I had some sex.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget.
What's he even mean? How's that possible?
No, because my children are IVFs.
Oh, yeah.
I had the issue, not my wife. Okay, it was on me. Thanks for asking. I had a micro testy surgery. I said testy.
You have tiny bag?
No.
Tiny bag?
See, I knew I had to say it twice for you.
You said micro testy.
No, I didn't.
Small
micro
sack.
No. Can we be medical here for a second?
Sure.
What's a tessie?
Micro testy surgery. I didn't inquire. They just said, this is what you're getting. And I said, great.
It was near that area.
Oh, it was in the area.
Well, there you go. You got small balls.
No, that's not it.
Small balls aren't bad.
I guarantee you. These guys, these doctors, they're all in the kitchen and they're scrubbing up or they're having a sandwich before surgery and they'll be like, Dr. Shauna, what are you doing today? And then she'd be like, tonsillitis or whatever. Sure. What about you? Small ball surgery.
For sure they say that.
They don't. How would they know the size of my balls? If they prescribe the surgery without even looking at them.
Okay, let me ask a question. One quick question before we get to Shauna's bit, right?
Yeah.
First, what position were you in for this surgery?
Oh God!
Like,
don't say all fours.
So
How emasculating is that?
So it hangs.
Well, he needs hangs. They're small. They're micro.
Oh, were you on all fours?
I was telling the story about how my children were IVF, and there's a lot of people struggling with IVF, and you've decided to.
We said we were going to have fun.
It was a fun podcast today.
No, I understand. Yeah, okay. So my micro.
What position were you in for
testy surgery? I don't know.
Eagle.
I was knocked out.
Together.
Yeah.
Ask the doctors.
Spread eagle. Or did you have to like make the number 4 with your legs?
Figure 4.
My wife, when she was what's it called? She used to take care of people's business down there.
Oh, wax.
Esthetician. See, one of the positions for the girls was the number 4 with their legs. It's a good angle.
God.
Anyways,
I was on my side, if you must know.
Hey, the good news is if you ever wax them down there, you don't need as much wax.
You know what? My wife will do it for $5 for you. Regular price is $50. Small balls.
Oh, God.
Anyways, what do you got there, Sean?
I got this thing, but I don't know if it's as funny as this. BuzzFeed put out some very, very, very funny parents who tweeted through another long AF week of parenthood because there are parents out there who figured out that it's just going to be rough and let's make the best of it by tweeting and putting out social media that's funny. So this one came from Katie Deal 99, if you want to follow her on Twitter or X. Parents, just remember every time you sneak candy from your child after this Halloween, it's not stealing, it's giving yourself a competitive wage for services provided.
I like it.
Clever, funny. You guys eating your kids' candy? Is it almost gone now?
Do you know, I said to my wife yesterday, I go, I haven't had one piece. And I'm not doing that as a bragger. All that's left is Kit Kat. Like they were lost. I'm not a Kit Kat guy.
We're not letting it roll into the holidays.
The amount of candy tax my kids have paid, it's like they would, if the equivalent of making $500,000 here in Canada.
Yeah, right.
The amount of tax I have charged them is out of control. I should be arrested for corruption.
Well, and speaking of candy, this was back from Halloween. My 3-year-old said, "Why do we have to go to other houses?" This is a tweet for candy. Why can't we just keep this bowl and watch TV? And the parents like, yeah, why can't we?
Wow.
Sometimes a 3-year-old figured it out.
Sometimes kids are the smartest ones in the room.
That's at the dad, who's also a really funny person to follow as well. And this is another one at Henpecked How. Daughter, do I have to brush? Of course. You don't want your teeth to fall out. Yes, that's how I make my money.
Oh,
adorable. My kid gets very excited when he loses teeth still. I know he knows the ruse and everything. Right. But he is expecting. And one time the tooth fairy didn't have a lot of change and could only find a 20.
That's the problem.
Now you set the bar, tooth fairy for 20.
I was in line at a grocery store and there was an older woman in front of me. And I'm going to say older, I'm going to say probably in her mid 60s. And the young guy who was ringing her through said something like cash or card. And she went on this tyrant about how cash is king and how big bank is destroying the tooth fairy industry.
What?
About how is the tooth fairy supposed to survive if we all go cashless? And I'm like, I understand your point. Like, I'm just getting some chickens. Like, I don't need this at the moment.
And you know who else doesn't need it? The kid that's working there.
I couldn't believe it.
He's like, I don't care.
I'm talking like, I'm going to say a good minute 45 on just big bank and the tooth fairy industry. And I'm like, you've been waiting to talk to somebody about this.
I think so. It's been sitting on it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, another one here. This one's funny because we talk about what kids wear to school today. This is at JTorch1031. My son must have a crush on someone. He started wearing his nicer pajamas to school. Kids in there. My son, he's 15, grade 10, wore pajama pants the other day to school.
It's crazy. Shauna, listen, we have kids similar age. We were talking about this the other day in the car, and it was just me and one of my 12-year-old son and my wife. And my wife said, Rory is his name. Rory, she's like, kids don't wear jeans anymore, right? He was like, Mom, what planet are you on? Jeans? And so I said, what do they wear, bud? Like, because he wears a lot of like sweatpants or like he's got a lot of like hockey, kind of like his team stuff, shorts and things like that. He goes, yeah, it's all just like real casual.
It's amazing.
And so you're saying it's right up to high school too? Right
up to high school. We went to football games. Everybody in the crowd, you could tell the Gen Xers, we all had our jeans on.
Yeah.
And even millennial parents, because some of them are younger. But none of the kids in high school had jeans.
When you still were able to dress your kids, my kids are 4 and 2, so I still have that ability to. Did you ever dress them in the eye of what you felt was comfortable? So like I really enjoy like fleecy track pants.
Yes.
Jack goes to daycare every day in fleecy. He has jeans and black cords and all this stuff. And when I get to pick up the clothes, it's whatever I feel like I would be comfortable in.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Jack goes so underdressed. He has so many nice clothes that I refuse to put him in because I feel like they would be uncomfortable for playing with Play-Doh in.
Oh, I know. I love the track pants. That's what Eli's in all the time, to the point where we, for birthday celebrations and fancy things, I had to call the restaurant and say, can you wear fancy track pants? They're like, no, not at all.
Fancy track pants. So I just texted my wife and she said they are average size at best. So it's called gentleman, because it's a gentleman surgery. If you ever had a micro Tessie surgery, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, you're trying to be cool and you're trying to be, but somebody is going to make fun of it and you got small balls and you don't. Like, on average, you don't.
You're going to have to show them one day.
I don't.
It's called proof.
Anywho.
Okay. So this kind of leads us into a nice topic because we're talking about
small balls is leading into this segue.
Well, we're talking about embarrassment, right?
Yes.
And you're obviously embarrassed.
Which I'm not.
Small balls.
No, I am not.
So this is interesting because we've talked we do a radio show and there was a thing about, basically guys go out in the streets and they ask women, what's an ick factor for a guy? Like if you saw a guy do something, what is something that would completely throw you off? A great example, as some woman said, like if a guy drops like a sheet of paper or a cash and then
chases it in
the wind.
Oh, a receipt.
Yes, like a receipt,
guy.
like a woman, you might as well say, I am never laying you, right?
There's no way to look good doing that.
Right. And it's just great stuff like a man holding a balloon or whatever, right?
Eating a freezy, perhaps.
Eating a freezy. The ick factor.
I only laugh because the gentleman who's talking loves freezies.
Oh, I just picture that motion where the head's back.
Do that motion again.
It's
the opposite for a woman.
Yep.
So anyways, this is kind of along the same lines. This is a list I got here, and it's about 20 things parents do to embarrass their children. Number 1, I'd love to know at what age did you stop this for Jack, Shauna? And maybe you didn't. He's in grade 10. Kiss/cuddle me in public.
You know, we have differing opinions on this, him and I. He doesn't mind it, and I won't do it. I'm like, bro, you don't, like after his football game, right?
Right.
I will just do like a fist bump or something because I was so conscious of that as a kid.
Right.
He gives me a big hug and he doesn't even care. Like if I kiss him, it's really weird. We seem to be setting that tone. I haven't felt that with him yet.
I find in my little bit of experience with, having 3 children is that I find that they are way more open to talk and communicate and hug and kiss than we were. We were always like trying to get out of there.
Totally.
And maybe it's just a generational thing. Tell stories about me as a child. They don't like that. That's embarrassing. And I'll also say this, and I understand this, when this is what kids say, parents embarrass me when you say, don't show off when I'm with my friends.
Oh, boy.
That's a bad one.
Hates that. My son's, my older kid, my little guy, not so much because he's similar to me, like a total ham bone. Older kid, no way. Like you can't be putting on
like showing off in what sort of way? Like you can online gamble? Like what do you mean showing off?
Like trying to be funny
Right.
or be cool. Like the cool radar is very much going.
Like let's say they're having a sleepover and they're in a good mood and they're wacky and maybe they're hamming it up a little and acting a little bit more than they normally would. And so you call them out on that. And that's really a dick move on the parent because what the parent should understand is, listen, the kid's maybe excited.
Yeah.
Maybe he is showing off or she is showing off a little bit, but that's okay.
Yes.
You probably show off at work sometimes too, right? And so I really try to be careful of that one because some of these are fun and silly and some of them I can totally understand.
Yes.
Like one, for example, is fun and silly is singing in public. I can totally see how, especially a teenager, would want to kill you if you sang in front of people.
Or if you put your radio too loud in the car and you're at a stoplight. Oh my God, my kid is like, it's right down.
Right.
He doesn't want any kind of attention.
Do you find, I find him sometimes it's your kid might get embarrassed, but their friends thinks it's funny or cool.
Yes.
So one of my sons was jokingly saying like, I'm a loser and all that kind of stuff. He's all like in fun and joking. And he had 2 buddies over and they're like, what are you talking about? Your dad's funny. He's on the radio. He raps to you.
Yeah.
He sings all the time. So my kids might get embarrassed by it, but their friends thinks it's fun.
He eats freezies in a really cool way.
Right.
Yeah, like my teenagers' friends are like, your mom's so athletic. Let's go watch her do the Peloton. It's the same thing. They just want to, they encourage sport.
You said that your teenagers are embarrassed when you sing in public. Like my daughter's 4 and I already can't sing. Like if we're watching like the Wiggles or something, or like I can't. I'm not allowed to. Just stop, Dad. Stop it.
It's hard when that happens.
I think she'll come back to it because I really enjoy singing and stuff like that with the kids is one of my favorite things to do. Like to the point where we actually have like inside joke songs, like I'll start a lyric and they'll finish it.
Yeah.
And they just know it. And I hope, I don't want to sound morbid, but I hope that when I go, that they have those kind of memories of me.
Right. Yes.
Or if they hear that particular song on the radio, that they'll be like, oh my God, my old man sang that.
I never appreciated my parents to the fullest extent until I was in my 20s. Right. Like,
Absolutely.
so like whatever happens between now and then, like, what are you going to do?
This,
but,
this is a classic one. I think every generation does it. Lick their finger and wipe dirt off their face or something off their face.
I don't do that to my kids.
No?
Nope. I don't like it. I hated
walk around
it.
with dirt all over their face.
I hated it as a kid and it embarrasses them. And I'm not very, I'm very weird about that. I don't like doing anything parental.
What about baby or nicknames in front of others? Like, do you have a nickname for your kids?
I do, but they're still so young that I feel like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I don't think my kid likes that either. No nicknames.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the transition with the 10-year-old now because I've forgotten what it was like because Jack's 15. So I think we've been through this. Eli's in grade 5. I'm really sensing that shift from childhood to preteen.
Right.
with the disclaimer, Eli, if you're listening, I apologize for asking the question. What would Eli's nickname be that you're transitioning out of?
Like any kind of I like to call him like Angel, my little angel, my little sweetie pie. Like I really baby him way more because he's my last.
Right.
So babyish names. I've got to go, Mom.
Like what do you have as a dad for boys?
Well, Drew is like everyone calls him Drew Bears. Like everyone in my family, like everyone even like his cousins and my nephews and nieces call him Drew Bears. So
that's weird that you would extend the name. Usually they're shorter.
Yeah, I know.
That's an interesting one
because he's got a short name, so extend it. It's kind of one of the rules in life.
Yeah, his dad calls him Jackie Bear.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we all just call him Drew Bears, and it's if he ever says to me, "You have to stop," it's more of just like habit. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. Wear old-fashioned clothes. These are things that you get embarrassed by your children. Your children embarrass you. Embarrass your children?
No. I dress.
Well, you're
perfect.
punk rock.
Yeah.
You're the coolest dresser of all.
Oh yeah. No, you're not. You're true.
Here's one. Hold my hand in public. Now listen. That's the worst. Someone told me years ago, and it's so true. It sucks because there's going to be one time you hold your kid's hand and it'll be the last time and you don't know it's the last time.
Oh, I know. I know.
I said it was going to be a fun podcast.
I know.
Jeez Louise.
Like there's nothing I love more. So my little guy is 9. I love when I just put my hand out to grab, like he doesn't even question it.
I know.
It's just like my dad wants to hold my hand for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like he's not even thinking about it.
But it's coming soon.
I
It
know,
really is.
sure.
Like Eli also is it lets the hand. But you know what he told my husband recently is no more kisses on the lips. Devastated Mike. Mike's not an affectionate person, but like it's his only son and it's his last son. And I really think that hurt him because he's no more lip kissing.
It's also amazing the innocence you say as they grow up, these things that you kind of whatever. And I'm right in the throes of like, everything is on the table at the moment.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to Olivia, because like I'm a big, like they say medically, you need 8 hugs a day to survive as a human. My wife's not a big hugger, so I got to get it from other places. And it's usually from my daughter who's turning 5 at the end of this month. And she said to me, because I'm a cuddler, I was like, hey, do you want to cuddle and watch TV, Bo? And she said to me, Dad, you never have to ask me to cuddle.
Oh my God.
I'll do it forever. I'll do it forever. And in my head, I'm like, that's the sweetest thing, but I know you're lying.
Yeah, she's lying.
I know you're lying. But I'm like, it's the innocence. And you're just like, Daddy, just... And it's those like little things that like make the hard stuff totally worth it. 2 more here. These are things that parents do to embarrass their children. Upload pictures of Facebook. You got to think about that.
Oh, yes. No, we're in a no-fly zone now.
And the last one is when the father has micro-testy surgery. That's super embarrassing for the children. Your dad's got small balls, but that's how you're here. That they're the average size. Small balls. Jack's dad's got small balls.
Small ball pappy.
As a 35-year-old single guy, when you were both already like knee deep in kids, I never thought about the things that like you would have to do that nobody really kind of like tells you about. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing as parents, like what you've done for your children in amazing ways and also in super icky ways.
Mm-hmm. And most of it's icky.
Most of it's icky. Most of it is like, I'm doing this for you and no one else.
Exactly, Johnny.
Most of it is about fluids.
so many fluids.
I'll tell you right now, the first diaper I ever changed was my eldest son's.
Okay.
In the hospital. I don't know if I could have ever changed a diaper, like a nephew or a niece or a cousin or whatever, a friend's kid.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have done it.
Was it that sticky black kind?
What's it called?
Meconium?
Meconium. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I feel like if like gun to head, I could do that like the first week for anybody. Once it starts getting serious,
yes.
I'm so out on all y'all.
But here's the thing. The meconium, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's black. It's tarish. If you've had a child, you know exactly what it is. It's like that for the first day or two. And it's pretty rough. And I held that over my wife's head because I was doing it all.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, I actually had the baby. I'm like, I know, but look what I'm doing over here.
Because one of your kids came out C-section, right?
2 of them did.
So like you're cleaning like tar poop. And your wife's got 160 staples in her stomach, and you're holding that over her.
And I'm like, wake up. Can you believe I'm doing this?
The best.
And the poo thing, like how much poo have you had on your hands that isn't your own?
Oh my God. And it just doesn't even make sense when you're talking about physics. Mm-hmm. Like you're holding the baby up and it's somehow up the back and you just clean it like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. Listen, when you clean a blowout, it's almost like you've detached yourself from reality. You're like, it's going to get in my hands. It's getting in my hands.
I know.
And it gets on your hands, and it's so hard to then scrub your hands and then like you can just continue on with your day.
Fingernails.
Knowing how okay. I didn't want to say that, but he is absolutely right. Because we can be honest here, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm also amazed at my ability to just clean puke like it's spilt milk.
And remember, before you had kids, like there's no way.
If I saw anybody throw up in a movie, I was turned off. I couldn't watch anymore.
Right. My own wife, when she throws up, it's like I feel so bad, like my heart breaks, but I can't help.
I can't be near it.
Meanwhile, your kid's like, Daddy, I'm going to puke. I'm like, puke in my hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just don't get it on the sheets.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
We had a flu bug in our house or whatever it was, stomach issues. Everyone was throwing up, like all 5 of us. And you want to be pushed to the end when one of your kids throws up right in front of you on the hardwood when you're sick.
Oh, God.
Oh, and you just do it, right? If you want to talk about love, you want to talk about love for a child, that's the only person you would do that for.
Because
absolutely.
My kids are the youngest, one's in daycare, so they always get like that daycare sickness. If I came in here one day and I had just an unbelievable cough and a runny nose, and I said, would one of you mind lying down with me for a little bit? You'd be like, Garbett, no way. But like, you're like, I'm getting sick after this 2-hour nap.
I know.
Yeah. But I need to comfort you and I want to do it, but I'm so pissed because I'm going to get sick off this. And you do it anyway.
And especially if you're someone that, like, I don't think I'm a great caretaker. I am of my own kids, and especially when they're sick. But like if you think about telling your 25-year-old self, like even a picture.
Yes.
Here's a little snippet of what you're gonna do in 10 years. You would never sign up for it in a million years.
Right. Do you feel betrayed by your parents in any way of not letting you know?
Yeah.
Because it's all like wonderful things. And obviously the great memories always will supersede the negative stuff. And maybe for you, Shauna, because you have the 2 oldest kids, maybe what I'm going through right now, because I'm still changing diapers, so I'm still getting the fingernail stuff. It's so gone from you. You don't remember it at all.
Oh, I think that's bull.
So like when you see your kids, you're like, you know what? It was great because we would cuddle on the couch and watch Toy Story.
No, I remember it, and to the point where I have made my husband and I fight about this. I said, I'm going to be more honest with our kids about what being a parent is. And I love my parents, but I'm telling you, there are days where I'm like, why didn't you warn me more? Because I actually wasn't sure I wanted kids. And I went to my mom and I said, do you think that I should? Like, you know me better than anyone. You know the kind of person I am. And she did kind of say to me, it's not for everyone. Now, maybe that was her nice way of warning me.
Yes.
But I think directly tell people what they're getting into.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's not just like all the gross stuff too. It's also things like, and you mentioned lying down. And I remember, and you said, do you forget? I don't think you do, but it was my first son in particular going to sleep. You always worry, right? Are they going to be okay? They're in the crib. Are they going to turn over? All that kind of stuff. How many times did I go in and check on him out of nowhere? And I'll tell you, you get older as you have kids. It's like your ankles and knees are like castanets. And so you walk in the room and it's like, and then your kid is sound asleep. And the kid's like 6 months old and basically looks like, Dad, leave me alone. I'm just trying to nap it out. And I remember vividly, not so much with the second and third because you get kind of more comfortable, but lying down on the ground and just holding their hand, holding their leg, right? And so you're just like, your arm is through the crib thing. You're losing blood. You're losing, and you're just lying there with no pillow, nothing, freezing cold. And you're like, I can't leave this spot. These are the things you would, no one tells you about.
No, and you wouldn't do it for anybody else.
No.
Are one of you or your partner the better sort of like doer of things like that?
Oh my God, yes.
Like, for example, my wife has already let me know that if anything with our children have to do with blood in any way, she's out. I've seen her almost pass out legitimately, not even joking. And so like Olivia the other day, like for some reason stepped on a toy car and like legit almost in a Laurel and Hardy way took a real flip on her back and like hit her elbow on the tile. Yeah. And she, like when I say the littlest scrape I've ever seen, like 0, like I don't even know how it could possibly have bled. And she was like, next room, I got to get out of here.
Really?
Like that bad, right? So it's been now thrust upon myself that any sort of trauma involving blood is now on my hands,
Right.
whether I'm into it or not.
That's tough.
Are either one of you kind of like better at sick over the poop or the pee over the whatever?
My husband doesn't do vomit, and he and he also does. He's also terrible. He would admit it. I don't think I'm being rude here. He's very bad at being soft when someone needs being soft, to the point where we just went through this. My kid's 10, and he got up at like 2:30 in the morning, and I heard my husband get up because I get up at 3:30, right? So he got up, he comes back. I said, what's going on? He says, oh, he was just getting he was trying to sneak his iPad out of the kitchen. I told him, I put him back to bed. I was like, that's odd. I went in there, kid's burning with fever. Mama, can you stay with me? I was livid, but my husband wasn't raised in a soft household.
Yep.
He's a little bit more, tough it out. But to this day, that's our number one thing we fight about is I don't think he's soft enough. He thinks I'm too soft.
Right.
And when a kid gets sick, it is a fight.
Well, and I think sometimes it's just a mother-father thing. Sometimes, I don't want to make it about that, but I think moms are generally more nurturing and caring.
Yeah, maybe in general.
And you're talking about there might even be something like a chip in both of your heads, in that you gave birth to them, and that they were a lot of times still the mother's at home for the first potential year, and there's that bonding thing when the kid doesn't even know they're bonding with you.
Yeah,
good point. There's
that part of it as well, but. There's one other thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, remember when your first child was born? And at least I'll just speak for the dads, at least my experience and Ryan's experience, because you told the story on air. Like, we both are not chiseled from stone. We got, Ryan's got a dad bod, and I think I got, dad bod plus a couple of X's. And when the baby comes out and your wife is kind of getting the sort of, aftercare, the minutes, that after the child is born, and you always hear about skin on skin.
Yeah,
How quickly, and I don't take my shirt off in public, right? It's to the point where if you see me in a public pool, I have a tank top on in the pool.
Yeah.
My shirt's off. There's 30 people in the room, nurses, because there was a complication with the first one. And I'm like, I have no shirt on. The enormity of the realization that I now am a father. It's crazy.
Your vanity's done. It doesn't matter.
Over. It's over, right? And it's Ryan, you had that kind of same thing as well, right?
Yeah, but the worst part is I was still embarrassed with a newborn. And it was, because I tell you, it was our third one, and he was a C-section. And so I know the routine by now. And so she's like, skin on skin time. I'm like, yeah, I got this. So I go into a room, I take my shirt off, and I'm same as you. I'm embarrassed, but it's my son, so I'm going to do it.
It's not like I didn't have 9 months to get into shape either. You know what I mean? I had time, but I just said F it.
But I'm also holding him. I got the man boobs. I'm thinking, this kid's going to try to latch on. His instinct is to suck, and there's nothing in there but mayo. And I'm doing my thing.
Mayo.
And then a nurse comes in with another couple, and she's super pregnant. It was their day before talk. Because you split a room.
Right there,
and
naked man.
And I'm just and they're like, oh, congratulations. I'm like, I got no shirt on. Wait, I need some privacy here. So yeah, there's a lot of those little things. I'm with you, man. I never thought the other thing I never thought I would do until I had children was go to church.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They make you go to church because, my kids go to Catholic school and stuff like that. So there's that whole thing.
Also, I'm a big, we have an amusement park in Ontario, close to where I live. It's called Canada's Wonderland. It's any other amusement park with roller coasters and stuff. Is somebody who is a bit more beefier, when your kids want to go on small kid rides, and they're under the line to be able to go by themselves, and you're like, I'm 10 pounds of milk in a 5-pound bag, and just I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's no way other parents aren't staring at me being like, wow, that guy really slid in there.
But you're doing it for them.
Absolutely.
That guy in a little roller coaster.
Yeah, you're right. So we want to hear about your bad parent stories. So send them to us at badparents@curiouscast.ca. If you have an idea for a future episode, we want to hear from that too. We do a mailbag show. We did one a couple weeks ago. We'll do one again when we have more. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms, and you can listen to our radio show every weekday morning, 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Q107 in Toronto. Until next time, I'm Johnny. Turn your mic on this time. You're
Shauna.
I'm Johnny, and you're
Ryan.
That's fun, and we're the bad parents.